Animal Well is an incredible game, in part because it doesn't really explain itself and it encourages you to explore on your own. But because it doesn't explain anything, it's easy to get stuck. If you don't figure out some secret mechanics and interactions, it can become impossible to progress. So this is a spoiler-free guide to all the obscure mechanics you need to finish Animal Well. I'm not going to give you the answers to any of the puzzles, but if you're stuck on a puzzle with no clear solution, you might need one of these secret interactions to get through it. The disc travels horizontally and bounces off most surfaces it hits. If you get out of its way, it'll bounce endlessly between two surfaces and you'll have to step back into its path to pick it up. While in motion, the disc will distract any dogs that see it, allowing you to pass safely. You can also jump on the disc while it's in the air, allowing you to travel great distances horizontally. The disc can break stalactites and spikes, which can make certain platforming sections easier. Finally, fans will push the disc upward, allowing it to reach tricky levers and buttons. And look, you can play disc pachinko. With the bubble wand, you can blow bubbles. More importantly, you can jump on the bubbles, treating them as temporary platforms. Even more importantly, if you press bubble and jump at the same time, you can chain bubble jumps together, effectively allowing you to fly around the map as long as you have enough space. This will move you roughly diagonally. If you want to move horizontally, you can let the bubble drop lower between jumps. Using bubbles, you can also descend safely into tricky territory. Bubbles are also pushed by fans, including when the player is on them. If you hold down while in midair, you can blow a bubble directly beneath you, which makes using the fan a lot easier. Finally, certain fish around the map will eat bubbles, sending the player on a magical journey to some distant land. Slinks fall downstairs, much like Slinkies IRL. They'll always spawn on the same tile as the player and move in the direction the player is facing, giving you some control over where it goes. Slinks will bounce off of walls they hit, which is important for solving some complex puzzles. Slinks can also hold down buttons while the player goes elsewhere, which is vital for many sections of the game. Finally, if you jump before dropping a slink, it'll add some delay before it starts moving, which can help with some of the tight timing puzzles. You can use the directions to control which way the yo-yo will go. It's most useful for hitting buttons that are far away or around awkward corners. It's best not to fidget while it's moving and let it pass through the button naturally. Yo-yos can also attract various animals, including but not limited to chinchillas, and can break stalactites and spikes just like a disc can. Playing the animal flute will wake up sleeping chinchillas. I don't think that's ever needed for a mandatory puzzle, but it's good to know. If for some reason, hint hint, you want to play specific directions with the flute, you should input like this. Tap the item button to enter flute mode. Hold the direction you want to play. Tap to release a note. Release everything and input the new direction. I bring this up because if you hold the item button and try to change directions, you'll hit the other directions along the way, messing up the input sequence. There's at least one puzzle on the map where this is relevant, and I spent way too long struggling with it when I first found it. This next part is a bit of a spoiler, but I found it confusing and would have wanted it spoiled, so here you go. Using the flute by one of these weird statues unlocks the fast travel network, and you have to enter the animal's mouth to get to the hub. I didn't unlock fast travel until I was basically done with the game, so I don't know if the screen looks different if you access it sooner. Let me know in the comments if it looked different for you. This is useful to get around the map quickly, provided you can remember where each animal head takes you, which I certainly can't. These are all the tips I have for Animal Well. Leave a comment if you have more secret tech I didn't go over. And finally, if you are stuck, don't give up. It is a hard game and there are segments which are total BS, but it's such a wonderful experience that it's worth overlooking the flaws. Happy platforming, and catch you next time.